Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be listening to Team Sleep, Chino Moreno's first side project. I believe that this album came out. There's only one album from Team Sleep, and it came out after White Pony. So I'm very excited to get into this. I've heard a few different, descriptions of Team Sleep from the comments that it's a bit more like electronic and experimental. I think somebody mentioned that it's a lot like Teenager from White Pony. Like a lot of the music sounds like that song. So very excited for that because I love that song, and I really dig, you know, Deftones experimentation with electronics and everything. So I'm excited to see how it'll be different with Team Sleep, and just seeing how Chino's creativity will be different in a new context. So yeah, really excited. And as always, I'm going to be reading the Wikipedia article on this one to get a little bit more background behind the project. So if you want to just go ahead and skip ahead to where I'm listening to the music, you can do that right now. Team Sleep is an American rock supergroup led by singer-guitarist Chino Moreno. Moreno is better known for fronting Deftones, we know that. Other recent members include guitarist Todd Wilkinson, keyboardist and turntablist Crook One, bass guitarist and keyboardist Rick Verrett, drummer Gil Sharon, and bassist Chuck Doom, with past members Zach Hill, Rob Crow, Mary Timothy, and Dan Elkin contributing significantly to the band's debut album. Team Sleep's music touches on a variety of genres, including dream pop, trip hop, indie rock, post rock, ambient music, psychedelic music, lo fi music, and electronica. Hell yeah. I like all of those genres. Um, big psychedelic music person, big trip hop person. I don't delve too much into like dream pop and then like, some of the more ambient stuff, but of a few things that I've listened to, I like. So very interested to see what this will sound like. So, the history of the project. Early years, Team Sleep started when Moreno and his friend Todd Wilkinson brought a cassette tape Porta Studio type 4-track recorder in 1994. They continued this collaboration through the first two Deftones albums, though on a rather casual basis. Wilkinson said, "We were never going to make a record or start a band. I was just sitting at home, playing guitar, and I started recording some stuff. It was never about trying to play shows, record in a studio, or anything of that sort. It was just bumming around. I had never been in a band and never wanted to be. We were just good friends." DJ Crook, or Crook One, a longtime friend and roommate of Deftones turntablist slash keyboardist Frank Delgado, added beats and turntables to Teenager, a song featuring glitch and trip hop influences. Oh, cool. So he's on that song. That's interesting. Originally intended as a Team Sleep song, Teenager was ultimately included on White Pony, the third Deftones album. Team Sleep performed a number of live shows on the west coast of the United States in late 2001 and early 2002 with Moreno, Wilkinson, DJ Crook, aka Crook One, Verrett, or of Tin Fed, Zach Hill, Hella, later of Death Grip. Wait, what? Death Grips? This is the dude from Death Grips. What the fuck? Okay, interesting. That was not a connection I was expecting, but that's cool. Dan Elkin, Pocket for Corduroy slash Them Hills, Sonny Mayugba, Fallacy, the prior band of Deftones drummer Abe Cunningham. Oh, okay. I actually real quick, I watched a couple interviews of Abe Cunningham with some drumming magazine or something, where he was like going over his drum rig, and he mentions a little bit of the history of like meeting Chino, and he was part of Deftones and then left Deftones like super early on in their like way pre adrenaline. He left Deftones and started drumming for that band Fallacy, um, and I think he did that for a couple years, and then he went back to Deftones. Um, so that's cool. And Joel Tidwell handling instrumentation. Their early live set included a loose cover of the Smashing Pumpkins' "The Aeroplanes Fly High," "Turns Left Looks Right," among others. Okay. The debut album. A full album's worth of material was finished in 2002 and 03, but not officially released. The instrumental song "The Pass Portal" was included on the Matrix Reloaded the album, the April 2003 soundtrack album for the film, obviously. Singers Mike Patton and Melissa Off Demore were involved in recording sessions, but their contributions were not included on the final album. Singers Rob Crow of San Diego based band Pinback and Mary Timothy of band Helium were the only vocalists other than Moreno to appear on the album. Team Sleep's record was originally scheduled for release in November 2004, but Maverick Records were reportedly so impressed by the album that they postponed the release until mid 2005 to allow for promotion. The debut album contained only 5 of the original tracks, 3 of those were heavily reworked. In 2004, DJ C- premiered the Team Sleep demo Cambodia while opening for Deftones at a concert at House of Blues in West Hollywood. The title of this song, which was co-written with producer Greg Wells, was later changed to Ever Foreign Flag. The official Team Sleep website appeared in early 2005 and included songs and videos for free downloading. Team Sleep was finally released on May 10th, 2005 with mostly positive reviews. The best part of it is having completion of something you've been working on and having it done right, Moreno said in a statement. It's fun working with people. Everybody works differently. When I have time off from music, I want to make other music. That's what I do. That's what's fun. That's what makes me happy. Hell yeah. See, why couldn't they have figured that out with the Beatles? I don't know why this made me think of this, but like, thinking about how the Beatles were so like just at each other's throats at the end of their careers because of all of the creative differences, and nobody was letting each other like do their own thing because they had to make music with the Beatles because they were part of the Beatles. That like, that's why George Harrison left the band and then came back a little bit. It's because like he just wanted to like actually make music he wanted to make without there's always being some other opinion about it. And I think that's why, All Things Must Pass, his first, solo album, is so expansive and so good, is because like he had all of this creative pent up energy that he could finally release. And like I could see the exact same thing happen to Deftones if they, you know, operated in that same way. And I mean, is like 30 or 40 years difference between when the Beatles ended and when Deftones were when he was starting Team Sleep, but still like it could have very easily gone down the same way of like Deftones getting to like Saturday Night Wrist and they're just so fucking over it, and then but none of them were doing their own side projects or doing their own creativity outside of the band, that it just all falls apart and then they never get back together. I my point being is that this is a very good way of making music as a member of a band. I feel like if you have so much creative juices flowing and you're always wanting to create new music and you can't always fit it into a band's template or whatever, then just do your own thing and you'll be so much better off making music for yourself, and more people will probably relate to that because you're doing it for yourself. Anyway, that's a long tangent. That kind of triggered a thought that I had for a while. I just wish that, the Beatles had figured out a better way of operating within themselves before it eventually came to a head and they broke up, because, we could have gotten so many more amazing albums from them if they could have made it work. But that's the timeline we're in, unfortunately. Notably absent from the completed debut album were Mercedes Apollonia, Ice Ache, Death by Plane, Solid Gold, Acoustic 1, and Kool-Aid Party, which featured Mike Patton as guest vocalist. The demo of Cambodia was revamped and appeared on the album in the form of Ever Foreign Flag, while Natalie Portman was revised into Live from the Stage. Following Team Sleep's first release, the band toured and began posting various demos on their MySpace page. Oh man, remember MySpace? I don't. Barely. I know it was a thing that existed in my younger years, but was never on it. Okay, so now we're at the album, and I think, so this is the deluxe edition, so I assume all of the, Kool-Aid. So a lot of the songs that it mentioned, Live from the Stage, that was Natalie Portman. So a lot of the songs that they mentioned weren't on the debut album, will be on this album as the deluxe version. So here we go. Let's get ready. The first Chino Moreno side project, Team Sleep. First time ever hearing it. Let's go. I like the album cover before we get into it. I like the sort of like half picture frame here. Smoking a cigarette. It's cool. Also, this first song is called Ataraxia, which is also the name of a King Gizzard song. So I got really excited when I first saw that. I was like, holy shit. But obviously this came out way before King Gizzard was a thing, so they're not the same song. But all right, hit and play. Let's do this. Whoa. Really loud. Just want to make sure. Okay, I just needed to adjust the audio a little bit because it was like super loud for some reason. But hopefully this will be a little bit better. I like that guitar tone. This is cool. I really like that droning, just really like gritty sounding synth in the background. That's really cool. Um, really like how, just how everything was layered, and like throughout the song, things were coming kind of like in and out of the soundscape. Um, and then like it was shifting too. Like I know at one point the guitar that was playing, like the tone changed, and like just the overall sound of it changed, and like everything got stripped away. Uh, yeah, that was really cool. I dig this type of vibe a lot. It's like it's pretty I would say yeah, indie rock, dream pop type of sound that I'm digging it. All right, next song, Ever Foreign Flag. Man, I kind of wish that was a longer song. That was really good. Ooh, nice transition. Okay. Yeah, I really like that last song. It's a really nice melody from Chino. Drums. These drums man, the drumming is just nuts on this song. That one was pretty experimental. That was cool. I really like how the drums were played on that, because, like, it kept going back and forth between this very straight, straight playing, and then it would go into this, like, staccato sort of syncopation shit. That was really cool, because it was just like, like, it was crazy, and it just did that the entire way through. It was, I've never heard a drum pattern do that for the entire length of the song. That's cool. Really, that one was really experimental. It felt like, especially at the end where it, like, the guitars were also just, like, kind of going crazy in line with the drums. But yeah, it's cool. Really, like, washed out and expansive guitar tone. Cool drum machine too. This isn't Chino, is it? Doesn't sound like Chino, but maybe it is. Really interesting mixing here. Oh, this is cool. I really like the way that's mixed, because it, like, comes in on the left and then responds on the right, and then they both come in. honestly kind of reminds me of Elliott Smith. Just the way that the vocals sound. Obviously not the instrumentation, but yeah, he's singing. If that's Chino, which I think it is, he's singing a lot like Elliott Smith. Whoa! There's so much like crazy drumming going on in this album. Yeah, drums are nuts on this album. That was cool though. me of Minerva a little bit. Yeah, that kind of sounds like pretty similar to Minerva from Deftones. I do like how seamless all of the transitions are from song to song on this album. Nice little musical interlude. This is very psychedelic. Also, the time signature is odd. I can't figure it out, but... I want to say it's like in 10/8 or something. There's like 4/4 and 6/4 or 6/8. I don't know. Yeah, again, I don't know if that's Chino singing. I don't think he's singing that part. Like, I think he was singing the verses, and then that, I guess, is the chorus. Pretty sure that's somebody else. It does not sound like Chino at all. Even though the Wikipedia said that he was singing everything except for like 1 or 2 songs. But I don't know. That was dope though. I really liked that one. That was super psychedelic and dreamy. Yeah. Tomb of Liegia? Yeah, Liegia? I don't know. Whoa.
In 1969,
Whoa!
a man of mine in a small Montana
Is this Chino singing? Obviously not. It's that one lady, I think. Wow. The production.
Hear the nighthawks cry, their voices dry and hollow. Hear the crowd cheer, they cheer me to the gallows.
Dude, the production on this song is crazy. Wow. That little tambourine thing that goes in and out is so cool.
1985, I was doing time alive.
Oh, man.
I made a plan to escape and live as the lady of the lake. Hear the crowd of ghosts, their voices dry and hollow.
The harmony on that.
Can't you hear them call? They cheer me to the gallows.
Man, and the way those claps are in time with the beat, that's so... This is sick.
Nineteen 1995 was the year I came up for trial. I listened to his song and watched the sun make the shadows
Dude, that is such a cool song. What the fuck? That was crazy. Like, there was just so much going on with the production, and like things were like came in and out, and like different ways, like especially that tambourine hit. It just goes. It like would come in one ear, out the other, or it would like go up and down. That was nuts. That was so cool. Fuck yeah. Also, woman singing, beautiful voice, beautiful harmony, gorgeous. Yeah, love that. Elizabeth. My sister's name is Elizabeth. Love you, sis.
If it looks broken, that's just the picture. That's how you know.
Acoustics.
It's no fun for guys like me.
Yeah, whoever's singing this, it can't be Chino, but whoever's singing this sounds exactly like Elliott Smith. Right? Who is singing Okay, it says Rob Crow and Mary Timony, which I assume she sung the last song, are the only singers that appear on the album other than Moreno. So, don't know. Maybe that's him, Rob Crow. But he sounds just like Elliott Smith to me. Huh. Man, yeah, that song really just sounded like somebody remixed an Elliott Smith song. Like that straight up just sounded like an Elliott Smith song to me. Which is crazy, because I mean, I don't know who's singing this. I know it's not it can't be Chino. There's no way in hell that's Chino. So I guess it's the other guy, Rob Crow. but he sounds just like Elliott Smith to me. Can't stare at her anymore, I'm sorry. R.I.P. Oh. Wow. Man, this song just turned into something completely different. This just sounds like it could be a Shin song or something. That first part was crazy. Cool. Yeah, a lot of like uh just like instrumental experimentation on this album with just like songs that are just like 2 or 3 minute uh instrumentals, which is cool. Also, I mean, I do listen to some like instrumental kind of trip hop stuff, kind of like there's this one album that I got just off of a whim called Dr. Octagon, I think, or that's the artist. I don't know. I don't remember what the album name was, but a bunch of shit like this, just like instrumental trip hop beats, and uh, kind of also in the realm of like Jay Dilla's Donuts, or Flying Lotus. Like I have a few of those artists like in my record collection, and so some of these songs just kind of remind me of those albums where it's like just a bunch of hip hop beats, different ideas thrown in together. Uh, but it's really interesting. It's so this is so different from anything Deftones did, which is awesome because I think it's really cool to see this side of Chino's creativity outside of the regular environment that he creates music in with Deftones. Like it's not just him on this project, even though he I guess is technically the lead guy. Um, obviously there's other contributions from the other members as well. So it's really cool so far. I'm digging it. Ever since World War One. Man, the drumming. Whoever's doing the drums, who is this? Gil Sharon. Played for Marilyn Manson. Okay. Fade out. That was cool. I was about to the first half of that song, I was about to complain a little bit about the drumming, that it was doing a bit too much. But the more that the song went on and just the sort of atmosphere of it, I do think it was pretty cool how it was such a just sort of chaotic element to this otherwise pretty subdued and melancholic sound. The drums are just going fucking crazy, and it does create this bit of just uneasiness to the song. So I actually grew to like the drumming by the end of it, but at first I was just like, bro, you are doing way too much right now. And I don't know. I think the drummer, it said that he was part of, or he played for Marilyn Manson and the Dillinger Escape Plan. So I guess it kind of tracks that style of playing, but still, it was really cool how it almost didn't work with this song, but at the same time, it kind of made the song all that more uneasy. if that makes sense. But I like that. That was cool. What the fuck? I really like this drum beat. Cool. Yeah, this really does show how much Chino's how much Chino like contributes to the experimental side of Deftones, I feel like. Cuz like so many of these songs just keep reminding me of their more like experimental songs like, you know, Lucky You or Pink Cell Phone or Teenager, like all of those songs I feel like were Chino just doing what he wanted to do, and Deftones were like, yeah, cool, throw it on the album. And yeah, this is definitely confirming that he's like the main guy behind all of their weird sort of experimentation. Not that I'm sure they don't all contribute to those songs as well, but I'm pretty sure he's like the guy coming to the table like, you want to try this? So it's really cool though. That also kind of reminded me of MX, just the way like the conversational aspect of that song between the woman and Chino, it just reminded me of MX because he does this. They do the same thing on that song. Um, it's like if MX and Pink Cell Phone had a baby, it would be this song. Live from the stage, which I think, according to the Wikipedia, this was originally titled Natalie Portman. was a really cool song. That was really psychedelic and like almost kind of doom in a way, but like I like how the first half it was pretty ambient, very sparse, and then it just like drops in and everything goes crazy. Yeah, I really like that one.
Je veux être avec toi, uniquement avec toi.
Français.
Tes bras avec toi, à Paris pour une nuit. Emmène-moi avec toi, ne me laisse pas ici. Dans tes bras à Paris, rien ne flotte de la vie, juste avec toi. À 6h du mat, dans un hôtel polonais, complètement drogué. Juste être avec toi, dans tes bras, la magie de Paris, la magie du nuit, rien ne flotte de la vie, flotte de la suite.
I like the organ.
Juste être avec toi, juste dans tes bras, dans tes bras, pour une nuit.
Beep 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 beep. I like that too. Sick. $11.11. Elliott Smith is back, man. Ooh. This is pretty. And yeah, I gotta be honest, this really just does sound like they gave Elliott Smith a drum machine. Oh, there's Chino. Okay. Never mind. Oh, okay, this is Mary Timony. So that was a different person? I don't really know, man. The Wikipedia article doesn't really make much sense to me. With who is singing, who isn't singing.
Sometimes I hear them call. We were so close to the waterfall. Knowing me made you lose it all. 10,000 flies to a light bulb. Let's go.
It's really digital, like some sort of a filter going on. It's pretty cool.
Giving to me was not that good. A symphony of dead wood.
And like 8-bit type of filter,
Giving me made you feel dead.
especially on those guitars.
You to be fed. Let's go.
Or that's a keyboard, maybe, I don't know.
Now I got a face full of scars, and you're a pirate on some distant star. We are the horses of the underground. Feel the vibrations of my breakdown. Let's go.
Oh! Just brought the strings out. Okay, Eleanor Rigby.
Sometimes I hear you call. We are so close to the waterfall. The flies were buzzing around our heads. Why, babe, you still lay in bed. Let's go. Let's go.
Sweet. Those drums sound crazy. What the fuck? catchy as fuck. This is cool.
Down on the pillow, sweet dreams of a soft night and chill.
Good lord, man. Fuck me. Wow. Okay. Well, there it is, man. Whew. That was a cool listen. Really, really cool. I mean, that last song was fucking terrifying. Like that should go on a Halloween playlist for sure. And kind of honestly, it kind of reminded me of an even creepier and more demented version of Pompeii from Ohms, because it did kind of feel like at least the lyrics that I could pick out was kind of like a piratey type of vibe going on. But yeah, there it is. All right, Team Sleep from Team Sleep. Cool fucking album. Really, really interesting sound. Really just cool experimentation from Chino and the rest of the gang. I do like how on this album, like, there's a mix between these more like fully realized songs and then some songs that are like just kind of like interludes or little uh, experiments that aren't like a full song, but just, you know, they had an idea and they went for it, you know, like Delorian or Paris Arm, um, Staring at the Queen. Like some of these songs are just like kind of just these weird ideas that they had, it sounds like, and they wanted to just put it on the album. But that was a really, really interesting album. Really cool. I liked that quite a bit. Some of the songs that really kind of stood out to me for this first listen. Uh, I liked Ataraxia and Ever, Foreign Flag, Princeton Review. Boulevard Nights was pretty cool. Kind of reminded me of Minerva. The Tomb of Liegia, that was a really cool song. And the singer on that did a really good job there. Ever Since World War I was cool. Live from the Stage was really cool. I liked how that song shifted towards the end. And then yeah, the Kool-Aide song, that was just nuts. But yeah, that's definitely going in my library. And I will, like I have done with all of my Deftones reactions, I am going to listen to this album several more times throughout this next week, and when I have done that and have a chance to edit this video, then you'll have my thoughts on that. But yeah, see you then. Okay, so I've been listening to the album for about a week, a little over a week now, and so I've got quite a bit to say about it. I think that this album is just really an amazing showcase of just creativity and experimentation. I feel like this really shows how much Chino was just such a creative force during this time, and like for Deftones in general. Like he, I think, just brings such a unique and sort of crazy creativity that this album really exemplifies. It feels like this album is just like such a mixed bag of different sounds and ideas. Um, it does have a pretty consistent tone throughout, though, I will say. But there are so many like crazy left turns that this album has that I think is so cool. Um, I I really appreciate how different it is from pretty much everything I've heard from Deftones. Like some of the songs on here are just super unorthodox, the way that they're written and recorded. Like one of the things that I really love about this album on all of these songs is just the crazy drumming and glitch beats that happen on some of these songs. Songs like Your Skull is Red, just like the chaotic nature of those drums is so awesome. It kind of sounds like that throughout that entire song, the drums are just like falling down the stairs, but in a actually controlled and precise way. Like it's not just random for the sake of being random. It makes sense, but it's such a contrast. I feel like the drums on a lot of the songs on this album to the rest of the instrumentation. And I think it's a really cool kind of juxtaposition between the drumming and the tone of the rest of the album. Princeton Review also kind of has that same sort of thing at the end. Um, like there's all these crazy drum fills and stuff at the end of the song, but the beginning of the song is just very kind of subdued and melodic. And yeah, I mean, I kind of love all of the drumming, even on Ever Since World War I, which in my reaction, I think I mentioned that like I kind of don't think the drumming works on the song, just because it's doing so much and like it doesn't really fit the mood or the tone. But the more I've listened to this song and this album uh, on subsequent listens, like I really think that that song's super cool with the way it's contrasting between these energies. Songs like Ataraxia, I think I love that song. It's a really great way of opening the album up. It's got a lot of energy. I really like all of the instrumentation and the production going on this song. Chino singing sounds really good. And Ever Foreign Flag is one of my absolute favorite songs on this album. I think it's such a great melody, and just such a great song. Like front to back, it's a pretty straightforward song compared to some of the others on this album, but it's really well made. And the more experimental songs on here, like like Your Skull is Red or King Diamond, Tomb of Liegia, and then like those instrumental interludes like Staring at the Queen, Paris Arm, Delorian. I love all of the crazy experimentation on this album. Like some of the songs like King Diamond or Staring at the Queen, or like some of the other more trip hop songs. I mean, they really remind me somewhat of the like experimental and instrumental hip hop, kind of like Jay Dilla or Flying Lotus, stuff like that. King Diamond, I mean, that it's just so crazy and chaotic how that song sounds, and all of the vocals and the production in that song is insane. Liegia, I think, is one of my absolute favorite songs on this album. I love how creepy it sounds, and like the lyrics are just so interesting. Like the story of her killing a man and then being thrown in jail and coming up for trial, and like the super haunting chorus of the Nighthawk like calling you to the gallows. Like it's just such a cool song, and I really love how it's sung by Mary Timony. I think her harmonies are really cool on this song in particular. Kind of reminds me of like old time folk Appalachian songs, the way it's harmonized, and it's also harmonized in different ways, I think, on each chorus. Like sometimes she's doing just kind of like a droning thing where she's the harmony is just like doing one note above the melody, and other times it's like an octave above the melody, and it changes every time another chorus comes on. It's super cool how that song is sung, and I think the mixing of the vocals on a lot of these songs are just super cool. I think it's Princeton Review where like Rob Crow, the other singer that I feel like sounds like an almost identical vocal clone of Elliott Smith. Um, on that song, he's like, there's like hard right panned vocal and then a hard left panned vocal, and then they all come together. It's just really awesome how a lot of the vocals are mixed on this album. And another song kind of reminding me of Tomb of Legia is Kool-Aid with Mike Patton. I think that song is even more creepy and fucking insane. And it's sick as fuck. I think Mike Patton's voice sounds awesome. It's so just like demented and creepy. Um, and the production on that song is so nuts. It's so good. Really, sounds like it should be on every Halloween playlist that exists. Because I mean, goddamn, that thing terrifies me. And some of the more calmer moments from this album too. I really love. I like a lot of the Rob Crow led songs. Again, very similar to Elliott Smith, but I do like how like a lot of those songs kind of like start as a very organic or acoustic sound, but they add all of these like electronic or like drum machine beats and little flares to the song that just like it just adds such a cool and unique atmosphere to those songs, like 1111 or Our Ride to the Rectory, or Elizabeth. Yeah, I love those songs as well. And I really love how, specifically on Our Ride to the Rectory and 1111, how Chino and Rob Crow like play off of each other with the vocals. I think that their vocals, because they have very distinct voices, I think they contrast really well together when they're on the same song. And yeah, it's just really good. Boulevard Nights is a great song as well. Really reminds me of Minerva from Deftones. I mean, it really does kind of have that overall sound and tone and the way Chino sings as well, of Minerva. And so, yeah, every time I hear that song, it just reminds me of Minerva. And I love the drumming on that song too. It's really cool. And another song that reminds me a lot of Deftones on this album is Live from the Stage. I think honestly the first part of the song that's very ambient and just a very slow build uh, does kind of remind me of the intro to Heart's Wires off Gore, and in some ways, I mean, it's a lot more spaced out and like ambient, but it just kind of gives me that similar feel. And then when the instrumental drops and all of the instruments come in. It's super heavy. I love that. I mean, it kind of does sound like it would have fit on maybe like self-titled or Saturday Night Wrist, because it's like a mix of really heavy guitars with this overall like super psychedelic melody. I really love the guitar chords that are strummed at the latter end of the song. um just really cool, really cool song. And yeah, overall this album just really impressed me with how unique of a sound it is. Like I said in my reaction, I love how it's kind of like a mix of these more fully realized songs, and then it also has a lot of just like short snippets and ideas, like Delorian or Staring at the Queen or Paris Arm, and it just kind of like, I don't know, it the structure of the album is really cool to me, because I feel like the way that those interlude songs are placed, it kind of like harkens in like the next stage of the album. And yeah, I think the album itself is very cohesive. I love how all the songs kind of like bleed into the next one. Yeah, I was really impressed with this album. I think the more I've listened to it, and the more that these songs have sort of sunk in with me, the more and more I'm growing to love it. So yeah, very happy I checked this out. I'm super excited to get into Chino's next side projects after listening to this. So yeah, I would say my top 5 songs on this album are Ever Foreign Flag, Our Ride to the Rectory, Princeton Review, Tomb of Liegia, and 1111. I would say on multiple listens, those 5 songs are the ones that I really like those songs. Which is funny because only one of those songs is a Chino led song. The rest are either a duet with him and Rob Crow, or just Rob Crow, or just Mary Timony. And I think that the overall collaborative nature of this album is really cool, because when I came into this album before listening to it, I was expecting every single song to be kind of like a Chino led song. But it's really cool that, he's not the like main singer on every single song, and in fact only really the lead on a handful of these songs, and the rest are other people, or it's just instrumentals. So yeah, did not expect that from this album, but it's really good. I love these songs, and I love this album. So I'm very excited to get into his other side projects now and see how different they are. I know Crosses, the self-titled album from that project, will be next. I think that came out in 2011. And so what I'm going to do with these side projects from Chino is I want to go through every release in chronological order. So I'm not going to tackle just Crosses, like the 2 Crosses albums back to back. I'm going to do, after this, I'm going to do the self-titled from Crosses, and then I think the next album that he released as a side project is Palms. So I'll be reacting to Palms after Crosses, and then after Palms, uh, I think there's some Crosses EPs. I know there's a second Crosses album as well. So that'll probably, and that came out in 2023, I think. So that'll probably be my last one I check. So I have to just look and make sure I'm doing everything in order. But that's just expect that to be how I release these. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about this album. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one when we listen to Crosses. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you then. Peace.